Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a look at a deck list you actually saw on the Sibling Sunday episode 1 of the Wheel of Pain. And that is Cyclizar Tank. I did promise this deck would get its own, shall we say, iteration and its own video and everything. And to be honest, I was quite proud of how the deck did. Obviously, Lillie's Clefairy, the matchup against the Lucario EX that my sister got, definitely pulled its weight, but obviously Cyclizar did do its fair share. Now, thanks to me getting some actual credits, because I've been grinding the ladder a little bit and obviously the battle pass, I have been able to craft a third Cyclizar. So, I will be obviously cutting the Terapagos down to 1, as I said in that video. But, for obvious reasons, I don't need to go any further than that, because if you'd have watched that episode, you'd have seen this in action. But, anyway. In the description below, as per normal, there's going to be the timestamps to the deck list, the games that we'll play, and the outro of what I think of the deck. And of course, the deck list is available to copy in the description below, should you wish to do so. So of course, our main attacker is going to be Cyclizar EX. Well, it was going to be in the Sibling Sunday episode, but I only had access to 2 because I didn't have enough credits. But because I've been going out my way to grind credits and everything like that, and obviously getting a lot of packs and everything whilst doing that, I've been getting a lot of credits throughout that, so I managed to been able to craft myself a third Cyclizar. So Cyclizar EX is nothing special, obviously, as we saw in that video. Breakthrough for 3 colorless energy is a 130 damage attack, and it does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Obviously, it doesn't apply resistance or weakness, but of course, colorless doesn't do weakness damage. Then, of course, we do have Zircon Road for 180 damage, where we can draw 5 cards. Now, of course, this is not a great attacker. I'm going to say that straight off the bat. But the fact is, because we're playing it with the Terapagos and everything, we have at least some way to use Terapagos to set up bigger damage and everything. We could use Breakthrough to set up with a 30, etc. Zircon Road to do 180 and get some draw. Stuff like that. But of course, one thing to note, which you may not remember, is Cyclizar is a Terra type. So that means we obviously get to play exactly what Terapagos does, which is Noctowl. And of course, as I said in that video with the Sibling Sunday episode, episode 1 of the Wheel of Pain, yeah, this 3-3 Noctowl line more than pulled its weight, let's put it that way. But before we go any further, let's go to the deck list and see what I've changed about it. Welcome to the deck list. So, as I said, I haven't changed a huge amount from that video. I've changed a grand total of 2 cards, but I will point those out as we go along. So, of course, the main one is, of course, I've cut down to 1 Terapagos and gone up to 3 Cyclizar. I want to lean more into the Cyclizar, because obviously it is technically the whole point of the deck, not Terapagos. But I wanted to keep it in anyway, because Terapagos for 240, and also, you know, just in general, it's a good attacker. And obviously it benefits from our Bouffalants, but still. And also it's another Terra type, so that's at least something. Obviously, we are playing a 3-3 Hoothoot Noctowl line. You could squeeze a 4-4 in here, but I don't think it's worth it. 3-3 is acceptable. Obviously, we all know what Jewel Seeker does, but what we don't always know is what Bouffalant does. Obviously, I explained this in the video, but for those that don't remember, Curdy Wall allows us to basically be big, beefy, and bulky. Obviously, I featured this card in the Bouffalant EX video, and this is pretty much that list. It's just there's a Cyclizar instead of the Bouffalant. Obviously, the energy is different as well because of Cyclizar's Zircon Road, but I digress. You could also play Cyclizar as a backup attacker, like play 3 Terapagos, 1 Cyclizar. Use Cyclizar's Breakthrough as like a chipping sort of attacker, but for 2 prizes, it's not really worth it. I want to lean more into the Cyclizar is what I'm trying to say. And it definitely works out. Obviously, 1 Terapagos to obviously give us a little bit more consistency there. 2 Fan Rotom, 3 Cyclizar EX, which obviously I've talked about a little bit. 1 Latias, which of course we can potentially attack with. We do play 3 Psychic for a reason. 1 Bloodmoon Ursaluna, 1 Ditto, which is obviously searchable off of the Fan Rotom. 1 Fezandipiti EX, 1 MEW EX, and of course a Lillie's Clefairy EX. We're playing Psychic Energy. We need a way to make sure Polk cries. Then of course we do have the Crispins to obviously put energy into play. Obviously we're playing Fire, Grass, and Psychic to obviously attack with our Zircon Road. But as I said, we're playing Psychic anyway, so why not throw in a Clefairy? 2 Boss, 2 Iono, 1 Turo, 1 Research, 4 Nest Ball, 3 Ultra Ball, 2 Energy Switch, 2 Glass Trumpet, 1 Counter Catcher, 1 Night Stretcher, the protective goggles has been replaced by a picnic basket. This is because I think just having an extra way to heal that isn't Turo and doesn't take our support for turn is definitely something we want to consider. So I thought adding in a picnic basket is just something you can do anyway. And it's a splashable card in most of this anyway. And obviously against a deck like Dragapult, that can actually make a huge difference because Terapagos minus the Curly Wall would be needed to be 3-shotted by a normal pull, obviously without Monkey Dory Math. So we can actually make sure that Monkey Math is a little bit harder to do thanks to Picnic Basket. Then of course 1 Super Rod, 1 Body Puffin, 1 Earthen Vessel, Hero's Cape as our ace spec, 1 Bravery Charm, 2 copies of Area Zero, 3 copies of Fire Energy, 3 copies of Grass Energy, and 3 copies of Psychic Energy. As I said, I didn't really need to change much about this list, and to be brutally honest, it works well. Like, if you want to obviously not lean into the Cyclizar as much, but just have it there, so to speak, you can do what I did in the video, play 2 Terapagos, play 2 Cyclizar. But for this video, I wanted to lean a little bit more into the Cyclizar, as I said. Anyway, let's get into some games and see how we do. And welcome to the first match. As I said in the previous Jinx with Joltik video, I am up to Tina rank now, but obviously, as I said, the rank would have been reset by the time you see this video. So, don't worry about where I am on the ladder. I'm the one who needs to worry about the ladder because I've been meeting a lot of Bolt. So, yeah. Let's see what we're playing against. The name The Baby Mario doesn't tell me a lot, although he may be a Coconut Ball main. I hope at least one of you gets that reference. If not, I'll explain it in the comments. Okay, that's not a bad start at all. So the opponent is going first. Ooh, Team Rocket's deck. Okay, this ought to be interesting. Then they're playing the promo from the pre-release events. This ought to be interesting. Oh, hold on, this is the Arbok. This could be difficult. That stops anything that has an ability from evolving, doesn't it? I don't remember off the top of my head, to be honest. So let's go for a Nest Ball, and we'll go for a Fan Rotom. We have prize 1, but I'll do a proper prize check in a minute. So we'll Fan Call. We'll grab a Boof, a Hoot, and another Boof, because why not? We might as well be as tanky as possible. So Breakthrough obviously could come up in this matchup. Crispins, we've got plenty of them, that's good. We've got a Picnic Basket for a little bit of healing. And we prize 1 Grass Energy, that's fine. So go Bench, Area Zero, Bench, 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 Vessel away, Senior Boss. Actually, I'll leave the grass in there for a little bit of Crispin fodder. They're probably wondering why we're playing Fire Energy, to be really honest, but I'm not worried. And that is that. So yeah, I've got to remember, I don't remember the Arbok. I think it's only once it's in the active though, so we can play around it. And obviously they can use things like Crown Opal and everything, which is a problem, but we can deal with that. We'll know what attack they use based on the damage. And that is Crown Opal. So they're trying to basically stall here is what I'm trying to say, folks, but it's not going to work. So we'll go for a Jewel Seeker. So obviously this does mean we do have a bit of a problem, but we can attack with a Noctowl, funnily enough. So we might have to do that. So we'll go for a Crispin and an Energy Switch. We can Noctowl again. Might grab a Body Puffin off of this one, actually. If I've got it in deck. I didn't see it. Oh, there it is. So we can do that. So yeah, them doing Crown Opal is actually a pretty smart strategy. It's not a bad idea at all, to be honest. So we'll do that. I forgot to check if Latias was in here, to be honest. There it is. Excellent. Never punished, as some would say. So we'll do Body Puffin, grab one of the Hoot-Hoots. Because this is the thing, people think I don't know my own attackers. Do that. Do I want a Crispin or do I... Yeah, I'll Crispin. I'm not giving him extra cards. I'll do that. Energy on the Terapagos. Free retreat. And eat that speed wing, boy. Who would have thought Noctowl is saving my bacon right there? with your gemstone mimicry shenanigans. That's not happening, son. I know how to play around stuff, alright? Speedwing does just enough to do the job. And I obviously have Glass Trumpet as an option as well, so I'm not hugely bothered. Oh, okay, we've got some Crobats in here. That's fine with me. That could be an issue later on, but obviously they will bump around Stadium. Are they going to do Drag Down and try and paralyze me? They don't get it, that's good. We can go back into the Terapagos. So that's at least something. There's an energy, so we could go into the Terapagos. Or better yet, we'll attack with the Fan Rotom and Iono. Because then we put these back in deck, the energies. Okay, there's Picnic Basket, that's good. We can heal the Terapagos a little bit. It's kind of a waste to do it now, but like I'd rather just heal the Terapagos so that way they can't gust it. Put down a Cyclizar. We can then Bravery Charm the Cyclizar. Retreat, we'll get rid of the Psychic Energy. Go into the Fan Rotom. Energy Switch, off the Noctowl, or in Cyclizar. And Assault Landing for 70 damage. So remember, this Fan effectively has 130 HP, which is quite frightening. Obviously, I know we've attacked with Terapagos, well, we've attacked with a Noctowl so far. And obviously Fan Rotom, so we're not using Cyclizar right now, but we will do eventually. It obviously just depends on what I draw. They can also just strike the Sleeper and take out... Well, in fact, no, they can't. They can't. They have to attack the Hoothoot that they've just put damage on. Okay, that's fine. We can get rid of the Hoothoot, or the Noctowl, and I will get rid of Terapagos now. That's fine. Because obviously Cyclizar's a Terra, so I'm not really bothered. They can strike the Sleeper and damage the Hoothoot. They can't kill it, though. But then again, hold on. It wouldn't do any damage because it's Boof. But then again, does it apply to the bench? I don't remember if it does. I don't think it does. But this is Joe forgetting is what is... What I'm trying to say here is Joe's forgetful. But we'll soon find out. They can... Well, you've already evolved to Golbat this turn. Unless they have Rare Candy. So there's the Rare Candy, that's fine. Very interesting deck list this is. I probably should have kept that Picnic Basket now, but that's okay. We'll work with it, it's fine. So, yeah, I don't know if Strike the Sleeper would be affected by the Curly Wall. There's the Archer, but I'm not bothered about that. Archer actually helps us a little bit. That's pretty good. That is actually really good. Team Rocket's Factory, draw another 2. That is actually really good for us because we can get potentially swing with Circon Road. Okay, there's the retreats. They're going into the Crobat, it looks like. For a Assassin's Return. I don't remember the name of the attack then. But it doesn't even knock out the Fan Rotom because it's 10 short. Yeah, you're only doing 60. That's crazy. That's crazy work. Well, there's Bloodmoon, but Bloodmoon doesn't really help us. Do that to you, do that to you. We can, because that only does it to the Ben. Oh no, it's to the active Poke. It can be to anything. Yeah, so you can actually knock out the Fan Rotom here, which is bad for us. I'm going to Turo the Hoothoot. I know that much for certain. Rebench. And we will just Assault Landing, because then that puts that in Terapagos range. Obviously they can Assassin's Return and just pick that up, but I'd rather play into that if I can. This is a really weird matchup. I definitely should have kept that Picnic Basket around, but still. Because Picnic Basket would be really helpful right about now. There's Sneaky Bite. They're really focusing on the Hoot-Hoots. Okay, Ultra Ball. Probably grabbing another Crobat. No, Monkey Dory. Okay, okay. This is weird, this list, I must admit. We can't really do a lot though because we don't have a lot of options right now. They can Monkey Dory 3 off of this and then knock out the Fan Rotom, force me to promote another. There's an Ariana, so they can draw some cards. This is weird. It's working. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely working for them, but this is weird. Obviously, you can lean into the Sneasel as well in this deck, so this is weird. But no, I respect the hustle. This is spicy. Obviously, the main issue is Monkey Dory here, because Monkey Dory can definitely do some problems. Well, cause us some problems, I should say. Okay. You had a Crobat in hand, if I remember rightly. And a pass. Okay, sure, Chief. So we'll go for a Crispin. In fact, what energy do we need on Cyclizar? It's a grass, okay. So I want to draw some cards with Zircon Road. Obviously, this does lean into their little strategy a little bit, but I'd rather get some attacks in. So we'll go into the Cyclizar. We can even attach to the Booth, but I don't think it's worth it. So we'll just go for a Zircon Road for 180 and draw 5 cards. Again, they could just pick this up, but, you know. I'd rather draw some cards. Obviously, they could just Monkey Dory move stuff around, so that is a major issue, but still. We do have options, at least. But obviously, this isn't a great matchup, mostly because I wasted the picnic basket, but still. They can take out the Hoothoot here, which they probably will, and they have. That's fine. So this is how this deck works then. Cheap prizes, eh? That's fine with me, Chief. Ideally, I want to start knocking out these Golbats, because they could be an issue. Because we can use Breakthrough to knock out one of them and then start picking them off. But would they want me to take the 2 prizes is the question. Probably not, so they probably would use Assassin's Return. Because they've used 1 Team Rocket's energy and 1 Dark. There's a Giovanni. Going into the Golbat. Maybe there's Latias? No. What are you doing then? You can't knock out the Booth. Huh? You don't kill it. Curly Wall protects it. Are you going to pick it up though? Because if so, if you don't, I was about to say, if you don't, you're going to regret it. Okay, gone into the Sneasler. Okay. I think I get the gist of what he's trying to do with this deck. That's for sure. So we do have free retreat with the Latias in play. I'm just trying to think. Is grabbing back the Terapagos worth it? Well, we're definitely Ultra Balling away the Ditto, and we can get rid of one of the energies. I could grab Fez. Fez wouldn't be a bad idea right now. Get some extra draw in. Yeah. But then again, they knocked out the Hoothoot, so yeah, Fez is fine. So Fez for 3. Counter Catch doesn't help us right now. And I believe we are out of energy in deck, or near enough. So we could I think we are. Because I can break through, knock this out, set up the Fez for Zircon Road. I don't even know where to put this energy, that's the thing. I think for now, we just Iono. Because it's such an awkward matchup, it's really difficult to like plan ahead for this. So we'll break through, take out the Sneasler, and set up the Fez. Obviously, Monkey Dory can just move it off, but we can potentially, and there's an Area 0, we can potentially get a, we can potentially deal with it. So I'm not hugely worried, but obviously this is where he can go, evolve this into a Crobat, take these 2 out, and then cause us some real problems. And you could also forget to Monkey Dory it off. Don't know. That's the thing. But yeah, this is quite an unfit matchup, surprisingly. This is quite unfavored because, like, they have so much heal, technically speaking, because they just pick up their, they just pick up the Crobats. And there's the Crobat. So yeah, they can just take out these two, which is a problem. But maybe they don't want to do that. Oh no, they do. That's fine. Just a bit more options then. So yeah, we would have been scraping for energy in deck, so I know that much. If they don't heal this Fez, we can gust it with the Zircon Road, which is good. No, they're not daft. That's unfortunate. We could... I'm just trying to think. I'm surprised they've not gusted this Latias yet. That's really surprising. They have Dark Weakness. Okay, Team Rocket Watchtower. That's annoying. And there's an Archer. Oh boy, this guy's not making it easy, is he, folks? He is not making it easy. We might have to lean into the Clefairy this game. We might just have to lean into the Clefairy, which is not a good thing at all. There's a boss. We can take out the monkey, I guess. I'm going to bench the Clefairy. We flip the script. Hero Escape's pretty good. That's good for the Clefairy. Is it good for the Latias? It could be. We play around their dark shenanigans, but I don't know. I'd rather have it on the Clefairy, but at the same time... Yeah, so we'll attach here. Bump the stadium. I'm definitely taking out this Monkey Dory. I'll tell you that right now. So we'll boss the monkey. And do we want to break through and set up it for a Fez KO? Because we don't know if to play another monkey. I'm going to say no, so I'm going to go for the breakthrough. And then set up Fez. Because then all we need is Gus for Fez. Let's see what happens. Nope, didn't mean to press that. I wanted to look at my discard. So that's both our bosses gone, but we still have a counter catcher available. So hopefully, if they take out this Cyclizar this turn, we can do that. They're playing a lot of stadiums, aren't they? That's 2 factories and a watchtower so far. Night Stretcher. Probably grab back a Crobat. No, that's Monkey Dory. Do they have a Dark Energy in hand, is the question. I think they only play 1 monkey. Yeah, they're just going to keep healing this, which is annoying. Adrenabrain. Probably to the Cyclizar. Because that does set up for the KO. Yeah, he's going for the KO. So now we need counter catcher on Fez plus a Psychic Energy. So if you can hear any background noise, there's what sounds like a military helicopter flying over right now. And it's flying blooming low is all I'll say. I'm a big aviation enthusiast, but not when they're flying over my house on a Sunday evening. That's for sure. Okay, so we could still have 1 Psychic Energy left in deck. Let's have a look. We do. So we could. So we need to thin first. So we can thin out the Mew. And then Crispin. Put the fire in hand. Psychic to Clefairy. I'm trying to thin as much as possible if it wasn't obvious, folks. Grab a Cyclizar, thin that out. So now we go Mew and then Fez. Fingers crossed we get a counter catcher. Because I know it's in deck. There it is. That's game, folks. Wait, no, it's not. It's not. We're 10 short. We're 30 short. Can we get an Area 0? But then again, that's out as well. Let's see if they will have the retreat, though. I'm not at the woods yet. I miscounted, that's all, but it's all good. For some reason I thought I had Area 0 down, but it's fine. If they don't have an energy to retreat this Fez, because they can't put a Team Rocket's energy on it, because Team Rocket's energy cannot be attached to anything that isn't a Team Rocket's Pokemon. I think we may have just got them in how we want them. But I don't know yet. That's the thing. I don't know. There's a Adrenabrain. Onto the booth. That's fine. Do they have a way to retreat this Fez? Because if they don't, we have game. Fighting spree, that doesn't do it. That is fine. They have to have an energy that isn't... You are joking me, they've got a Turo? Nah. That's so bad for us now. We legit don't win from here. Even with my miscount, like, it doesn't matter because that Turo's just won them the game. I'm fairly certain that Turo's just won them the game. There's nothing we can do now because they just go Monkey Dory onto the booth even if we attack. So yeah, we just don't win from here. So that is an unfortunate loss. See you in game 2. Well, that was one of the most unfortunate losses I've had for a while, and unfortunately because of that loss we're down to Mewtwo rank again. This is not exactly a deck you want to be climbing the ladder with anyway, so that was quite unfortunate. The opponent played that pretty well, and like I said, I didn't know how many monkeys they played, but clearly they played plenty of ways to recover it. I can't believe they drew into their bloody Turo though, that was so bad. I just knew as soon as I saw that Professor Turo, we had no chance of winning. But still, that's just how it works sometimes, unfortunately. Okay, Hoothoot start's not bad, that's fine. I'm going to put the booth down just in case it's a donk deck, because you never know. Okay, this could be either Frostlass Monkey Dory, or this is Grimmsnarl. Let's see what happens though. This will give me a massive hint. It is Grimmsnarl. Okay, this should be... I don't know how this matchup's going to go because of the monkeys. This could be pretty tough. We don't play Grass Attacker. Well, there's an energy, but we definitely don't need that many energies. I'll tell you that right now. We have a Fan Rotom. Nest Ball again. Terapagos is definitely the better attacker in this matchup, but I want to grab my Cyclizar. Okay, with Pliers of Crispin, picnic baskets in this, that's good. So we've got quite a few energies in hand, which is a bit of a concern. But I can deal with that. So we will grab a Boof, a Hoot, and a Noct. Touch of Psychic Energy. Pass. See, the main issue with this matchup is even though we do bench damage with the Cyclizar, the Monkey Dories can just heal that 30 off. If they get enough Frostlasses down, that could obviously be a bit of a problem for them. I'm just trying to think, actually. How could we actually get the KO on that Morgrem this turn? Okay, not with that, we're not. Let's see what the Iono gives us, because we could have a chance of taking out that Morgrem this turn. Okay, Ultra Ball gets us a Noctowl. Noctowl grabs us Area 0 plus Boss. No, we need another energy to do that. No, we need another energy to actually do it. We are close though, I will say. If you put the Morgrem in the active, that's make it a lot easier. There's a Nest Ball. Why would you put a Morgrem in the active? Again, I promise this is not a paid actor. Okay, you've got to be stupid. There's no way you put the Morgrem in the active. Okay, this guy's dumb, but, well, that's just how it goes sometimes. There's an Area 0, so that helps us out a little bit. Ultra Ball away the Ditto and the Terapagos. We will grab ourselves a Noct, because this guy's a jackass for some reason. Nest Ball. Grab ourselves Latias. We're going to do that with Mew as well. Touch of Fire. We will restart for 2. Okay, that's fine. Noctowl the benched. We can grab Crispin plus a Hero's Cape. But do we want to grab Charm? We don't want to reveal this yet. So yeah, I'll just grab Charm. Because we're already pretty bulky. So we need Grass and we need a Psychic. The Psychic can go in hand. The Grass can go on the Cyclizar. And then we just free retreat into the Cyclizar. Pop on the Bravery Charm. Zircon, well, the Breakthrough doesn't really matter because they have Double Monkey. So I think I'll just Zircon Road and draw 5. I don't know what they were thinking plonking this in the active, but hey ho, I don't choose my opponent's strategies, do I? That's entirely their discretion. I'm not even going to question it, is all I'm going to say. I don't know why they put that that Morgrim in the active. Genuinely, I don't know. Is this baby's first Grim style deck? They're learning how to play it, I guess. I don't know. But still. Hey, yeah, look at that. Triple Monkey Dory. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Counter Catcher. Okay, I have free retreat. There's no issue there, my friend. But sure. It's not like, do people not read cards anymore? Are we all turning into Yu-Gi-Oh players? Meloetta? What? What are you doing here? Sure, I guess. I mean, you're there, I guess. I'm just gonna not question it. So, we could... That's Nest Ball. Clefairy is a pretty good one to have on the bench, so we might as well use it. Attached to the Clefairy. We retreat into the Cyclizar. And we will break through, put 30 on the Meloetta, even though they're probably just going to move it off. It's nice to see Cyclizar getting some representation, though. Obviously, this is not a great card. Like, you know, it's a bulky X. It's why it appeared in the Wheel of Pain episodes. But, you know, it's interesting, you know? Like, I don't get to play these sorts of weird cards. Obviously, as like a, you know, as a Pokemon player, like, I don't get to play these cards. But the fact that I can just get access to them really easily online is so important. Devo? You've got to be a bot. Why would you Devo? You just give me a Noctowl. Cyclizar is a basic. If you're going to hand me a Noctowl, well, a Noctowl for free, I will take one. Unless they're hand thinning, that's my only thought. But please, if you want to give me a Noctowl for free, I will take it. I'm not going to complain. Okay, that's a bit annoying, but that's fine. We can get rid of you, we can get rid of you, and we can get rid of you. I have another Eraser in hand anyway, so it's not a big deal, but if you would like to use Devo for nothing, sure. And if you leave this Meloetta in the active, I am going to just hit it with Clefairy, because, well, Clefairy is actually one of my higher attackers in this list at the minute. But please, if you want to leave it in the active, sure. And if you put that basic down, I'm doing 220, so thank you. There's an Impidimp. Sorry, Meloetta, you'll have to wait, sweetheart. Because I am bossing that Impidimp. Boss Impidimp, draw 5 with Zircon Road. That's all I'm going to do. And also put down the Area 0. I kind of want to keep the picnic basket, but I might have to discard it. I'm not sure yet. Lavel? What is this man cooking? I mean, Clavel's a good card, don't get me wrong, but still. Okay, there's the Frostlass. The Frostlass is important as well, so I have to consider that. Frostlass will start doing damage. And Moldiva does nothing. And here comes the Shroud. So now we are on a timer. I may just have to swing into the Meloetta. Because I can heal with Picnic Basket later. It's not like I need to do it now. So I will play the Crispin. Grab a Grass and a Fire. We'll pop the Fire into hand and pop the Grass on the Clefairy. Then, because I can Zircon Road, do 180, don't draw 5, and then it dies to a Frostlass ping so they don't get Fez. So yeah, I think I'm just going to do that. So we'll go for the Zircon Road for 180. No drawing cards, and you go down to a Frostlass ping. So you don't get Fez. Who would have thought Zircon Road is actually such a good attack? I mean, it's not obviously a high damage attack, but, you know, it's something. It is definitely a attack, it's just not a very good attack. So here comes my opponent's turn. Let's see what they do. Probably their best line here is to Monkey Dory all the damage off onto the Hoothoot, kill that. And then, oh no, they've got a Badoo. That's fine. But if you try and Badoo, I will win with Boss. So you need to Iono me here, mate. And that's not an Iono. If they have Rare Candy Grimmsnarl, that could be a bit of an issue, but I don't think they do. Secret Box and Team Evo, that's fine. There's a Secret Box, getting rid of 2 Boss and an Evo. Ooh, that's bad. That is bad, my friend. That's a Counter Catcher and 2 Boss gone. That's really bad. Rare Candy, Black Belts Training. Okay, we've got some spice in here, it looks like. Spikemuth Gym. There's the Spikemuth. So they grabbed candy off of that, didn't they? So they can't get Rare Candy Grimmsnarl. So they could actually turn this around, believe it or not. I don't need to pick the basket now, but I will need to next turn. So with the Black Belt, that's 220 minus the 60. They're still short on knocking out my Cyclizar. But obviously if they move Monkey Math onto the Cyclizar, that can obviously cause it to be a problem. But would they still be short? So hold on, 50, 70. Take them down to 190. I think they're still short, even with the Black Belt. Because we're effectively 320 HP. I think they're still short. I don't know the math. Hold on. So, Grimmsnarl does. In fact, did they play Arven? Yeah, they played Arven, so they can't use Black Belt, which we know that's in hand. So yeah, we could just go Ultra Ball for a boss, or Ultra Ball away, get a boss off of our Noctowl, and then we just boss a Monkey Door and kill the Badoo with these Breakthrough. Because yeah, they just don't do enough damage. If he could get a Black Belt, I think he'd be pretty close. In fact, no, he would have the knockout, but barely. Did he not even do the 30? Is it him? I don't even think he did the 30, but okay, sure. So we'll Ultra Ball away the Ursaluna and the Area Zero. Just need to make sure boss is in deck first. It should be. Yeah, we've got 2 boss, that's fine. So we have game with boss. Evolve to Noctowl. I'm not going to waste this guy's time, because clearly he's got a bit more to learn about Grimmsnarl, but that's fine. We'll just rub salt in the wind with double boss. I'm going to boss a Frostlass, because why the hell not? And then we will break through, taking out the Frostlass, and pinging the damage onto Monkey, well not Monkey Dory, onto the Bidoof, and that is game. 6-0 against Grimmsnarl. That always feels nice, especially not when you play when you're not playing a grass attacker. But yeah, that was a pretty good game, I will admit. That was really good against Grimmsnarl. I definitely think my opponent has a lot more to learn about Grimmsnarl. He definitely played that really poorly, but you know, everyone's got to learn somehow. I'm not going to judge him for that. No one should also judge him for that. We're back to Tina rank, but still. So what I think to the deck, obviously the changes that I've done. So obviously in the first match where we had the Crobats, that was pretty unwinnable. Purely because of the bulk of them and also the fact that we don't really hit them too hard. We probably could have kept Terapagos in that matchup for a potential boss win, but we was out of Gust at that point. Well, we had the counter catcher left, but by the time I'd have recovered the Terapagos, got it set up, they'd already bounced both my Hero Zeros, so we're doing max 150. The only other thought process was we could have bared for win, but I don't know yet. I'd have to go back and look at the footage and have a look, but I don't think we'd have won that even if we tried that. But yeah, so Cyclizar Tank is definitely a great way to play Cyclizar. Obviously, this is not a meta card. That's why it appeared on the Wheel of Pain episodes. But I did promise that it would get its own video, and well, it's done pretty dang well for its own video. Because obviously, I've leaned more into the Cyclizar, like I said at the beginning of the video. But yeah, really happy with how Cyclizar did. Really happy with it. Like I say, we would have had Lillie's Clefairy to also do some work if we had to. But honestly, this is not a deck that I think you should be playing. Because if you're going to play a tank deck, just play Terapagos. It's a lot easier to attack with a Terapagos. But genuinely, this is a lot of fun to play. Anyway, I'm going to leave your tip for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing Cyclizar Tank in action with the Terapagos, of course. And I'll see you next time.